Okay, so we are live, and as you can see, my surroundings are a little different today because I am actually over at my mother's house because I need to do laundry. And my roommates that lived upstairs, they recently moved out, and it turned out they actually owned the washer and dryer. So I had to come to my mom's house to do laundry like I was a college student. Never even went to college. So yeah, on the way over there, I stopped by a couple of stores to pick up some things, like the dollar store to get some cleaning supplies, and I went into a GameStop just to see if they had any good clearance stuff, maybe a little something for the show. They didn't have really much of anything worth bragging about, but it's still stuff that you'll see it later on another episode. Uh, but when I went by the Walmart to pick up a couple of supplies over there, I noticed they had the Lightyear. What's the name of this thing? Test and Crash XL-01. So, and as you can see, there we go. It was marked down to $10, which I could not resist picking up a nice big vehicle like this for $10. They don't make enough big vehicles like this anymore. It's not like the '80s when like things like this were fairly common. Like the Sky Striker in GI Joe is about this size, maybe even a little bigger. You had all kinds of for Star Wars, X-wing fighters, TIE fighters. The Millennium Falcon was huge. Like I think it's bigger than this box. You had the Batmobile for superpowers, all kinds of GI Joe vehicles, all kinds of He-Man vehicles. But nowadays, you just don't see that many vehicles on the shelves, and when you do, it's usually you're lucky if you get like a Batmobile for a 3 3/4 inch figure. Most other action figures, you're lucky if you get a motorcycle. So, like, I think the only vehicles they've done in GI Joe so far have been motorcycles. At least the only ones I have. So I am working on, though, 3D printing a Skyhawk in classified scale, and that should be pretty cool when it's finished. I'll try to do a little video about that when I get it done. It's going to be a little different from the regular Skyhawk. I've decided on a unique color scheme and decor for it, so that should be fun. But for now, I'm going to open up this bad boy. Now, I'd seen where people had made modifications to it to get it to hold 3 3/4 inch figures, and I think it's probably best sized for those. But I understand that like you can actually fit classified scale figures in here, and I do happen to have a classified scale figure with me. So I guess you'll see one of those things that I got for cheap at GameStop right now, because I've already done an unboxing video on this movie Baroness figure, and I don't intend on doing another one, for something I bought just because it was cheap and I'm going to use it for some fodder. So without further ado, let's get to the actual review and unboxing. So you can see this is a crystal grade, which I believe that's the name of this particular scale. You can see some of the crystal grade figures on the back here. I haven't seen this movie, and I heard that it didn't do too well at the box office either, which is probably why we're seeing a lot of toys marked down on the clearance aisle right now. But it's unfortunate to me because, like I said, I really wanted the vehicles to sell well. Maybe they did, and they just had to clearance out what they had left. But I know I saw a lot of, like I said, I saw a lot of GI Joe fans buying these and modding them for both 3 3/4 inch and classified scale figure. So we're gonna put Baroness in here and see how well she fits. Now, granted, she's not gonna be like the most ideal figure to be in here since she is a woman, she's a little smaller than say Roadblock. But at least it'll give us some idea as to how well a 6-inch figure will fit in this. So there we go. And apparently it's got some battle damage features where things will pop off if you hit a certain button or whatever. So adult assembly required. Well, I'm just gonna have to make do, aren't I? So I have no idea how to assemble adults. What do I look like? Victor Frankenstein? So one-time assembly, assemblage permanent. So click, put the fin in the middle, and then set up preparation. I got these gray panels that fit in there. And then you can open the cockpit, load the figure in, and close the cockpit. And if you press this button right here, press the button to release the crystal, crash, and explode. And then there's open or close the landing gear, which looks like it's probably just landing gear that just kind of manually pop in and out. So let's see if we can get this out of here. And they got some kind of funky tabs on there that are through another piece of cardboard and then taped. You know, if these tabs are really that secure, would you really have to tape them? I'm just saying. I'm going to have a harder time getting the tape off than I'm going to have getting off the tabs. I guarantee you that. So I do not have my handy dandy X-Acto knife, so I'm borrowing my mother's scissors. I hope she doesn't mind. So my mom's not here right now. She's at the doctor's office with my stepfather, who he had a doctor's appointment. It's going a little longer than they expected. So, like, I was hoping to maybe spend a little bit of time with my mother and my stepfather. But, you know, other things, life gets in the way, man. Just how it goes. So you turn the tabs this way. I wish they hadn't taped these. That would have just been a lot easier just to not tape, because then I got to peel all this tape off. Aren't you excited to watch a video where a grown man is peeling tape off of a package for a toy vehicle? Aren't you glad they put that tape on there so that you can witness this spectacle? There we go. Got through that. Come on, there we go. So once you get those turned around, they come right off. This cardboard piece is actually glued on here. So I guess they really wanted to seriously reinforce that extra piece of cardboard. There's one more of these tabs holding it on. And it feels like it's totally loose in the back now. But it does actually have some rubber bands that are holding it in also. And this plastic strap, we're just going to cut that. Get the scissors in there. There we go. And then that was able to slide off. And then these things, I'm guessing, aren't permanent parts of the toy, even though they're almost the same color as the toy. But I'm guessing that's parts that are just, they're only supposed to attach to the tabs that we're holding it in. So let's see what else we got in this box. And this is all taped in. I'm just going to lift it out. I don't see any need to get fancy about it. Go ahead and cut the plastic here. There we go. Let's see what else we got in here. This is probably where those panels are at, but oh, there's the fin. So yeah, there's one of those panels. So one of the things that kind of bugged me about this movie is having not seen it, but just from what I heard about it, is they were talking about like, oh, it's the movie that would have inspired Andy to want a Buzz Lightyear toy. So I'm like, now this does not look like a movie that was made in the early 90s. I'm sorry. Although I will say that the design of this ship, it does remind me a lot of the 1980s, which is probably why a lot of people, like I said, are buying it to make a G.I. Joe vehicle out of it. I mean, look at that. That just looks like it would fit right in with your 80s G.I. Joe toys, doesn't it? So it's nice and chunky in that 80s kind of style. It could be a Star Wars vehicle, like, you know, it's got the same sort of engines in the back, like you imagine a Star Wars vehicle with that. So, and then there's this little thing here. I'm guessing that's the crystal that they talk about that pops out. So we can use it for whatever we want to, though. We can pretend like it's some kind of, like, you know, special power source that maybe the Joe team is experimenting with, and maybe Cobra wants to steal it. There's all kinds of things you could pretend with stuff like this. I like using my imagination as far as that sort of thing goes. Let's have a look at the landing gear, and as I suspected, the landing gear just kind of manually folds out, so that's kind of cool. Since I've got it out of the package now, I'm going to go ahead and lower this down. I borrowed my mom's little stand that she keeps her phone on, so I could do this. But so we got this piece here that's going to plug in the front, and this piece is made out of a softer plastic than the rest of the ship. You can see the antenna in the front, so a little fluby. Probably so I don't have to worry about little kids stabbing themselves with it. And that is locked in there good and tight, so that ain't coming out. And it makes the ship look a lot cooler, I think, to have a pointier nose cone. So, and then this piece is the other piece that fits in there permanently. Just snap that in there real quick. And here's where the cockpit opens up. And you can see the seat where the figure is supposed to fit. And the feet should go right there. And this is made for like almost a 6-inch figure. It's not quite as big as a G.I. Joe Classified, but from what I understand, Classified will still fit in here. So unfortunately, since like I said, the only figure I have to test this theory out right now is the Baroness, you know, that's kind of cheating because like I said, she's not a particularly large figure. She'd be one of the smaller figures in the line, being is that she's a woman. And I sound really sexist when I say that, but I'm just talking about biology, folks. This is not my fault that on average women are smaller than men. I didn't come up with that idea. God didn't consult me. I happen to like Brienne of Tarth. I like variety. I like people to be all kinds of different shapes and sizes. I think that's a good thing. That's just me personally. So there's the ship when it's all put together. Pretty cool looking, huh? Got a nice 1980s sort of look to it, like a retro future kind of thing. I'm digging it. I like it. I'm glad I picked this up. So let's see, where are we supposed to put this this crystal? Like I know it said in the instructions, but I didn't really look where it said. I guess I'm gonna have to consult the instructions again. See where it said to put that, but I didn't notice. All I know, okay, there's a little port at the side. Okay, I didn't notice it because I was paying too much attention to how to fit the panels in. So we can stick this in here at the side, and I'm guessing that's spring loaded, and that'll pop off when we blow up the ship. When the ship crashes and those panels fly off, that's when those will come flying off. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm not going to talk too much about the Baroness in this one because I already did an unboxing video on this figure a while back. But if you go and you look at, I recently did an update on my G.I. Joe Classified playlist. So it should have every video that I've ever done on G.I. Joe Classified and then some. It's also got like a few other G.I. Joe products that I've reviewed. Not all of it, but a few others that I felt like were appropriate to fit in there. And at least one Marvel Legends figure is in that playlist, which is the Hand Ninja, which I thought was made for a better Red Ninja figure than the actual Classified Red Ninja, which I never actually bothered to buy. All right, so we're going to get Baroness into a seated position and open this up and fit her in there. And, you know, I think we might have to bend her legs a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to be a tight fit. So her legs seem like they're maybe a little sticky, but they moved. Just got to kind of coax them a little bit. Remember, never force your action figure joints. That's how you break your action figure joints. So if it's being too gummy, try dipping it in some hot water, like some boiling water, for 30 seconds. Or my preferred method is put it in a hairdryer. Hit it with a hairdryer for a little bit. So I don't know how well she's going to fit into this or not. I don't know what kind of modifications other people have been making, but I think it's going to be a tight fit even for the Baroness. but that's okay because I also collect 3 3/4 inch Joes, and I know I can get a 3 3/4 inch Joe to fit in here. I might be able to even fit 2. So, but I'll look up probably some videos on YouTube myself and see what other people have done to modify this and fit other characters in there. Like her butt isn't quite reaching the seat, and I've got her knees bent up and her thighs bent up about as far as they'll go. So she just kind of slouches there in the seat. Looks very uncomfortable. You know, if she tucked her hand into her waistband, she'd be in like that Al Bundy kind of sitting on the couch kind of pose. But yeah, I was able to get the Baroness in there at least. So since the Baroness is one of her skills is that she is a fixed wing pilot, maybe I might wind up painting this in some Cobra blue and having that be the Baroness's personal vehicle of choice. So, but this isn't my preferred Baroness figure either. Like I said, I mainly bought her for custom fodder purposes, and I do prefer the retro carded Baroness figure of the 2 Baroness figures I have. Never got the one on the motorcycle, but as I understand, pretty much the same mold with very few differences. Like I think like the motorcycle Baroness has a knife on her leg or on her belt or something, and the retro card version unfortunately does not have that. But hey, this Baroness has knives. I could probably take some of those and put those on there instead. So I do really like the knives that came with the Baroness figure, how they've got like a little snake head thing on there. Those are pretty cool. So I might as well go ahead and put all of her together. So that way I've got all of her in the right places. Don't have to worry about losing any of these parts, hopefully. I'm pretty sure this is the same gun that comes with Tomax and Zaymot. Although I've never actually compared them. But I always really like this submachine gun. So we'll go ahead and put that in her hand. So for the most part, I thought this was a pretty decent design of the Baroness for the movie. Most of the designs that I saw for the movie action figures were pretty good, even though like some of them could have been better. They could have been a hell of a lot worse too. I don't know which way her leg is supposed to go. There, I think I've got to turn the right way now. Her leg's all messed up. There we go. So she got little glasses to put on there. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this vehicle review. I might do an update like as a community post later when I've had a chance to try to put some other figures in here and see how well they fit. And I'm probably gonna, like I said, look into how other people manage to fit classified figures in there, because it's definitely going to be a tight fit to fit anything in there, since maybe they even removed the seat, so adjusted it somehow. But like I said, I couldn't even quite get her to fit in there right, so that's a little disappointing as far as that goes. But it's still a really nice vehicle, and I should be able to find some good uses for it for 3 3/4 inch figures. And honestly, I kind of feel like it's a little better proportion for that anyway. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. I do these as live streams because it's more convenient for me, and I don't have to worry about having to post them later. So it's just easier for me to do them as live streams. That's why I do them this way. So it's not really strictly intended to be the sort of thing where we have a chat going and I interact with the chat. However, I never mind interacting with the chat. So feel free to join me on one of these episodes if you want to. If you hit the little bell down at the bottom, so on this side, I think it's on this side. If you hit the little bell, that'll warn you whenever I'm going live, and we can you can tune in and chat with me. So like I said, not really the intention, but I never mind doing it. So I always like hearing from my friends out there. So leave a comment below, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.